There is a big debate about just how much a government should intervene in the economy. Some argue that the government should minimize its intervention in the economy and intervene only where it must to ensure that efficiency and productivity is maximized. Some argue that the government should have near total control over the economy. In between these two extremes, people argue for and against varying degrees of economic interventionism. New Zealand's political history has seen a diverse array of approaches to this issue. Some politicians, such as those who presided over the neoliberal revolution of the 80s and 90s, argue for a highly liberalised economy with minimal state intervention. Some, such as Robert Muldoon, have eagerly intervened in the economy with wage and price freezes and significant subsidies. It is my view that the state should take a more active role in managing the economy. It is my view that the state should engage in a greater degree of economic interventionism. I do not believe in total state control. I do not even believe in a return to a Robert Muldoon-style economy. But I do support a greater degree of economic intervention than what we have now. I support extensive state intervention in the economy for one very simple reason. The free market is devoid of moral sense. The free market has no sense of morality. The profit motive is amoral. If left to their own devices, private companies will create morally undesirable outcomes. Everything from unsafe workplaces and exploited workers to environmental pollution and dangerous products. Doing evil things can be very profitable. You can make a lot of money from doing evil things. Exploiting and mistreating workers, abusing the natural environment, hazardous unsafe products. These things can be very profitable. This is a serious issue, and addressing it properly requires extensive state intervention. As has repeatedly been made evident, a few simple laws is not good enough. Financial incentives are required. Preferential contracts, low-interest loans, targeted tax cuts, subsidies. The state must set up a web of incentives to direct otherwise amoral markets in a morally desirable direction. The state must manipulate the market to create morally desirable outcomes. The market in of itself is amoral. It can create good and evil. Significant state intervention is required to point it in the right direction. Incentives must be put in place to reward certain kinds of businesses. Ethical businesses that treat workers and animals with respect. Environmentally responsible businesses that minimize damage to the natural world. Worker-owned and controlled businesses that introduce democracy to the workplace. Such morally desirable businesses should be rewarded and encouraged with financial incentives. The state should push the market in a morally desirable direction. This is the only way to get desirable results from an otherwise amoral free market. Extensive state intervention is necessary to eliminate the dark side of the free market. The exploitation of workers, the long working hours and dangerous conditions, the oppressive workplace practices, the autocratic and dictatorial workplace structures, the pollution, the exploitation of resources, the destruction of the environment, the manufacture of unsafe products. All of these things can be profitable. All of these things very often are profitable. Only state intervention can address the amoral nature of the profit motive and point the profit motive in a morally desirable direction.